So here I have been working on these two, holding these two strands of thread together, and I have reached this much, okay, and the pattern is the same, it's the same granny square pattern. So here these threads I haven't yet so woven into. Now this is how it is. So now what I am going to tell you is, see, this thread is going to get over very soon, okay, but whereas this thread I have more of this. So I will tell you what to do when this finishes. So there are two ways in which we can do. Either I can take another scrap thread which is in the same shade as this and continue, and if I don't have anything that matches with this, then what I can do is I can stop using this one and continue with another of the same shade of thread, but I have to continue this as a single strand, because this is a thicker thread which is equivalent to these two together. So if I put both these together and start working, it will be very thicker than this, and our shape will be it will go out of shape, and we won't get a proper crochet fabric. So I can't use both of these together. So what I have to do is either find another thread which is of the same thickness, so I can hold both of them together and work, or I have to leave this thread for now and then I have to start working this. So this thread I can leave it for now, and when this finishes, what I can do is I can go back to this thread, and this is the next set of colors that I am going to include. So what I can do is I can add these two together and I can continue the square. So when I come to that, I will show you. So here what we are going to do is, so I am almost going to finish. The thread is going to finish, so I'll tell you what I am going to do. So my plan is to leave the yellow thread for now and get the thicker yellow thread and use it as one strand and work, and later I will bring this yellow again. Okay, you will have to watch me for a few more stitches, because until the shiny thread ends I can't show you the next step. So that sound that you heard just now is a fireworks for some event happening nearby, so there is nothing to be very scared about. Okay, I am almost at the end now. Okay, I'll just stop here and add the new thread. So for now what I am going to do is I am going to cut off this, cut both of them, and I am going to attach this thicker one to continue, and I'll tell you how to use this again. We will not waste this also, so when I come to this part I'll again show you, but for now I am going to cut off that, and I want to join this thread. So just I'm going to just hold all together and make a overhand knot like this. So that's all, and which was in two strands now will be only one strand. and you will continue as normal, because there's nothing except that we have joined new thread, that's all. And hold the tail together. Okay, the corner is done. Now we'll move to the other side. Okay, so definitely this is a little bit thicker than this thread. So one way we can avoid a little bit shift in the shape. One way we can avoid is by shifting to a thinner needle. Okay, so this one was 2.5. I can maybe use a 2 number, so that you know there won't be much difference in the size. Okay, so let me go back at least this stitch, and I'll start using the 2 size now, because if it is a 2.5 needle, what happens is your stitches becomes more thicker, and it will be very obvious, and the crochet can be out of shape also because of that. So to avoid that, maybe by using a thinner needle, my stitches will become little more thinner, and the work will stay in shape. Otherwise it will get a little misshapen. So this is second tip that you have to follow when you are using multiple threads like this. So I am going to leave that tail off now and work only on this. Okay, so now I think the size of the this thing will be correct by stepping down one size of the hook. Okay, and before I continue, always, because we are going to have a lot of joins, so it's better that we clear up the join as and when we when there is a few of them, so that it doesn't become messy in the last. So this was one of the joints. So what I do is just take a needle and you can pull it out through a few of the stitches. So there is a knot, so it will be secure. Only this part, if you whatever we don't want, we have to just cut it off. Okay, and this one is the starting. Again, if you want, you can take a needle and sew it, but for this project it's not necessary, because this is a granny square and only one side, it is not reversible fabric, so you don't have to worry much about the a little bit of thread, and here if you want, you can still make one more knot like this also. But the knot that we made earlier itself is a very tight knot. It won't come out, but in case you feel. So So this is it is better to do it now when there are a few of them, otherwise it's going to get very difficult when you are going to have hundreds of such strands like this on your work. So it's better you do it in every round, or whenever you join, it's, you know, you just finish off this part of it, so it gets easier in the ending. Otherwise, when after you finish your crochet, you will be left with many tails to you know, to stitch and then to finish. So it's better that you finish it off as you proceed. Okay, so like this. You can see the nice yellow coming up, and I will continue with this yellow till this ball of thread finishes, and then I'll show you how to what I'm going to do next. Okay, so catch you later. So now that yellow thread that I was using, I've come to the end of it, so there is just a little bit. Now what I plan to do is, because I'm going to transition from this yellow to these you know, the blues and the greens, so that family of blue and green. So what I'm thinking I will do is, instead of directly shifting from this color to this color, I'm going to reintroduce this yellow that I had, that is still left over, and because this is thin thread, we have to add something along with that. So I think I will first use up this little bit of green that I have. So I am going to hold these two strands together and I am going to work. Okay, so I chose the darker color so that we can go from darker to the lighter as we move there. So hold these two together and work till obviously this is yellow is more and this green is less. So this will finish first. So after this finishes, maybe I will add this, or I might even add this to this, and then I will be continuing. So but for the time being, now since this yellow is finished, so let me add this. I'm adding two strands. Okay, I'm adding both these together. I'm adding two strands of them together, and I'm going to make a overhand knot like that. Okay, so that's enough. So we will leave it there and we'll continue. So as for the needle, as I work, if I think this needle is too small for this one, I might move to the next needle, but I think this for these two strands of thread, this size 2 needle itself will be a good option. So I will continue like that. So now, so after this, there will be these two, and I'll complete this and get back to you. Like I was discussing earlier, I attached this green thread with the yellow and started making the granny square, and then this thread lasted only this much. So I just got about 3 sides worth of thread only, and I've come to the end of it, whereas the yellow is still I have a lot of yellow still, and the green is over. So now what I will do is, I will attach another thread to this. So the choices are either this one or this one. So I will first use up this this bunch of this one, because I want to get over with this, and then I can later add this later. So I am going to attach this. See, this is all in different pieces like this, but let me get this one. Okay, so again what we will do is, we'll just make one overhand knot like that. Okay, and then we'll continue. Okay, so as soon as that thread finishes, see now the other thread will start, I'll start using the other thread, and this one we can hide it as we are crocheting. And the hook size, like I was doing earlier for one part of the design, I was using 2.5 mm hook, if you remember. So I was using this one because there this thread was a little thinner, and so I needed the bigger hook. But here the thickness of both of these together and this and all are kind of thicker. So to maintain the proper tension of this piece, I think I will go ahead with 2 mm itself. So this is a double sided hook, that's why I keep shifting. See, on one side I have this, on one side see there is 2, okay, and the other side it is 1.75 mm. So that's why I have to, like, each time I am working I just have to take a look at it to see which side I am working on. And now we'll continue as usual, assuming that it is one continuous thread. So here, to move on, I have to make 3 DC in this space. See, this is the tail thread of both of them. So just hold that together like that and continue making your stitch. And also don't make it too tight. This is a size 2 crochet hook, so you can even make it tighter, but in order to maintain the proper tension of the piece, I always to look at it and make my own judgment on that. So it's your discretion. Whenever you feel that your stitches are becoming tighter or looser according to the thickness of the thread, you might have to change your needle. So that again depends on the kind of thread that you have and the kind of tension that you always have. By tension I mean the tension of the thread and the needle. Again, this is a corner, so I am working the corner here. See, if you see that I am really making my stitches really loose, and since this thread is all like this, so it is it takes some time for me to get them straight out like that and work. But nevertheless, this is a scrap yarn project, so a little bit of extra work is necessary here, but I guarantee you that the results are going to be amazing and you are going to be happy because you used up a considerable amount of your stash, I guess. Because we crochet people, we have a lot of yarn, and any amount of yarn is not enough for us. But when it comes to using the scraps, we always have we don't know what to do with that, and it keeps piling up again and again. So this is one of the scrap yarn projects where you can do something continuously instead of constantly trying to make small pieces and attach and those kind of things. So this is a continuous project. You can make it as big as possible, and you can use it as a cushion cover, or you can use it as a table mat, or depending on what big size you are making, or like how I have made, you can join squares together and make it into a runner. So anything is possible, but I like to make this one especially. I am going to make it in one big piece and probably make it into a cushion cover or something. So we will talk about that when we get there. Meanwhile, we will continue the granny square with the threads that I have attached. And I will catch you again when this thread gets over, and then I am going to attach the next one. This is the progress so far of what I have been doing. So like you see, we started with yellow, and then I added a little bit of green, and then it was this color with yellow, and then I moved on to the blue. So what I was working now was one of this strand and one of this dark blue strand, and now that is getting over. So now we have to make a decision of what to use next. So my these are the colors that I had chosen for this scrap, or this is what I have for at the moment. I have others, but what I bought out for this project was this one. So now I have to make a choice now what to do next. So either I can start with white and then move on to peach and then to the red and then to the this magenta or the dark color. What I will choose now is, I think I will keep this white for the last. I mean, after I finish this color, I'll use the whites so I'll keep that away. So from this I'll choose the light color now. Okay, now here what you have to decide now is, see, now these two threads that I have been holding together are of a certain thickness which was almost the same as what we did here. Now supposing I want to add this one. Okay, now if I am going to hold these two together and start working, see, because this yarn is still there, so I am thinking I'll just I might as well use it up because it's quite a old yarn and I know not going to be using it for any project in the future. So I'm going to use that one, or I may decide not to use, so that it's totally up to you. But what I want to tell you is that supposing we are going to add this peach color thread with this, see, the thickness of these two together and what we were doing till now are both different. Okay, so this is thicker and this will be thinner. So what will happen is your work will start shrinking, it will become smaller and it will not lay flat anymore. So what you have to do is, maybe then we'll have to use this along with another one. Say supposing I have this one, I can even opt to use these three together at this time here. Okay, so these three together I can, it is somewhat a little bit thicker than that, but I can manage by using a little smaller crochet hook. I can get it to this size and it can lay flat also. Or the other way is, this same thread we can take it in two strands. You can take the same thread, so for some reason, for some other project, I don't know for what, I already have the same thread in double strand. I think I made it for some other project, I am not very sure. So I already have it in double strand. So when I put these two together, I think my size will be right. So I am going to go ahead with this, and when this finishes, when I have to use this again, I will have to use this also in double. So that means I will have to make this into double and use it. Or if you know, there is also a method where one single strand of yarn can be made into 3 strands also. So let me push this away and show you a quick one how it goes. Okay, so this is a single strand. Now what we do is, we will make it like a S. Okay, you will make it like an S here, and I will hold these two together. Okay, so see, whatever this S was there, I am holding these two together, and this loop is there. You put your thread like that and take it out. So now what you see here, and if you keep pulling, it will keep coming like this. So what we have here is a 3 strand thread. From 1 strand we made it into 3 strands. So you will keep working like this, and when we reach this place where it ends, again you will have to grab this single yarn through this loop and again pull it like this. Okay, so like this, if you do like this, one strand will become into 3 strands, and this 3 strand is the same size as this one. So if you are going to use only this one also, we can make it like this. So this is a quick a tutorial inside a tutorial, I think, how to make 3 strands out of 1 strand. Okay, so let me move that away, and now since I already have this 2 strand, I am going to tie that to the yarn that is finishing now. So this is the one that is finishing now. So I am going to put these together, and I am going to make a knot. So this knot, keep a sufficient tail here, because you can weave the tail inside easily, and if you have a short tail, it's difficult to weave it, it is difficult to hold it together and work it. So having a little about a 1.5 inch or so is useful for us to weave it inside easily. So now it's going to be like this. Okay, so after this we are going to be working on this one. And there's a small tip also. Whenever you drop your needle, I mean you take out your hook for some reason and you have to come back to your work again, and you don't know which side you have to put, you just cannot, you can put it any side, but there is a certain way that in which you have to do it. So that is this working thread, this one, the one that I am pulling, that working thread should be on the top and the other one should be at the bottom. But at the same time, see, if you hold it like this, your working thread will be at the back. So it should not be like that. You should put your needle like this. Your working thread should be on the top. That's a small tip for you whenever you keep your needle down and take it and want to work again. So not much of a difference if you do either, but if you are particular about doing it correctly, that is the way to do it. You see, I am holding the tails down along with it and working. Even when it comes here also, you can do the same thing. Oh, excuse me. Though the peach and the green is looking lovely, but here I think in this place it looks totally off, but when everything comes together, it will look pretty, and you may not even, you may like the boho look finally. Okay, and we'll continue. So what we learned here is, supposing you adding a thread, and if the thickness is not enough, we can even you can even make it into 2, or you can add this one also. You can add one of this and one of this, and keep 3 strands together and work also. But for this I opted to do the double strand of this. So when this finishes, I will have to wind this also in a double strand, and then I will have to use it. Or if otherwise I can just cut off this one and continue with only this one in the 3 strands. So I taught you how to make 1 strand into 3 strands. So I can use 3 strands of this after this finishes. Okay. I'll again catch you in the next part when there is a little more progress. So this is the progress so far, coming out well. After I finished that, then there was this magenta color thread that was still left over. So I joined it with another of a shiny thread that I had with which was also some leftover. So I included that with that, and then the last row that I did is a little bit dark and also shiny. Okay, so this is how the crochet fabric is now. It is a square. Okay, so it's a square, but though it doesn't look like a square now, we have if you really particular about making it into a square and using it for a project, then we have to block it like this. So we have to either wet it and block it like this, okay, on all the sides, and then make it into a square. So those who want to go that route and block it and use it for something else, then they can do that. But for now, what I am thinking is, okay, now this I call it a crochet fabric because this is like a piece of cloth now. So this a square piece, you can use it in so many different ways. Okay, there is a purse that you can make with that. What you will do is, you will stitch up all the three sides. You know, this one has to be stitched up and this one has to be stitched up. So this becomes like an envelope. See, it becomes like an envelope like this, and then this is the flap for the bag, and you put a button here, and then it becomes a bag. So it can be used as a sling bag also, after you put a handle for that. Or this can just be sewn on to a cushion on top of a cushion, or you can add a backing for this either with crochet or with the cloth, and you can make it into a complete cushion cover also. Or then you can make it into another kind of a bag also, where these things are bunched up together like this, okay, and this will be held like this. In the same way, this side also will be bunched up like this, and you know, then we'll put up a handle, and then this will become like a bag. So that kind of a bag also you will see many on the internet. So that kind of a small bag also can be made with that. So these are the some of the ways in which you can use this fabric. And I guess what I am going to do is, I am going to make a slip-on cushion cover. So for that, what I will do is, I am going to fold it like this and stitch both these sides. Of course, this is the right side, but I am going to put the right sides together, and I am going to stitch this side and I am going to stitch this side, and then I will show you how I will use it as a cushion cover. But for the time being, you just see, we can even fold it like this and make it into a cushion cover also. See, like this. Okay, if you sew three edges and keep one edge open, then you can slip a cushion inside this, and it can become a cushion cover also. See, the back will be like this and the front will be like this. Okay, so this will become a nice cushion cover also. For today, I am going to show you another way of making this cushion cover. I will put the right sides together like this, and I will stitch this together. So with you using a crochet, I am going to do that. So I am going to show you that next now.